Welcome in, everybody. Yesterday, I described my 3 biggest winners through the first week of NFL free agency. If you missed that video, be sure to check it out, and also, while you're there, subscribe to the channel. Today, I want to discuss my 3 biggest losers through the first week of NFL free agency. So starting with number 3, the New England Patriots. They lost quarterback Tom Brady, who was their quarterback for the last 20 years, and he won 6 Super Bowl championships with them. You can't replace him with Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer. Not only did they lose Tom Brady, but they cut kicker Steven Gostkowski, and they lost a lot of young players on the defense, like linebacker Kyle Van Noy, linebacker Jamie Collins, and defensive tackle Danny Shelton. The Patriots had the #1 scoring defense in all of football last year, but that defense just got a little bit weaker this offseason. My number 2 team is the Los Angeles Rams. The last 2 years, they acted a lot like teenagers who discovered a credit card for the first time. They spent a lot of money and didn't worry about the bill. Well, that bill and all of its taxes have come due, and they had to cut a lot of talented players. They cut Todd Gurley to save $22 million, but there's still $10 million owed against the cap. They cut Clay Matthews, and they lost a lot of free agents, like young players in linebacker Dante Fowler, linebacker Corey Littleton, defensive tackle Michael Brockers, and cornerback Nikhil Roby-Coleman. So yes, this team still has a lot of star power, a lot of really expensive star power, but the cheap players that were young and on the rise weren't able to get paid, and that's why the Rams weren't able to re-sign them, and that's why this team has taken an L in free agency through 1 week. And finally, my biggest loser comes as no surprise through 1 week of NFL free agency, the Houston Texans. They opened up the free agency period by trading away DeAndre Hopkins. Not only did they trade away the 27-year-old all-pro wide receiver, who's one of the most talented receivers in the game, but the return they got was subpar. They get an aging running back in David Johnson, who's had 1 great season in the NFL and is constantly hurt. They get a 2nd-round pick, and they swap 4th-round picks. So they don't get a 1st-round pick, they don't get an impactful player, and the Texans are lost without their #1 wide receiver. Now Deshaun Watson has less weapons to throw to, and he still has a poor offensive line. They also didn't do well with some of the moves that they did end up making. They signed wide receiver Randall Cobb to a 3-year, $27 million deal, so overpaid for him, and they also lost defensive tackle DJ Reader. So the Houston Texans have had a terrible start to the NFL free agency period, and that's why they're my biggest loser. So as always, if you enjoyed this sports content, be sure to leave a like on the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day, everybody.